3 videos to Madiera, and welcome to Peterborough, to the Eastern Athletics Combined Events Championships, where I've got a bit of a wait. I've got an hour's wait before my next event, so yeah, not too far on from the last video where I was in the car. A lot of that uncertainty has now disappeared, so yeah, so good news is that they've allowed me to run without a vest. I did have to talk to an official who's part of my club to then go and speak to the overall kind of adjudicator of the meeting to permit me to do so and make sure everyone was aware that who I was and that this was technically allowed as long as I was wearing a plain vest, which I am. So that's good. There is one guy here, it's really funny. So he, javelin thrower, wants to throw javelin in a competition at the end of the season, registered for the javelin, but then he was told, actually no, there is no like standalone javelin, you need to do the whole pentathlon if you want to do the javelin. So he's here to do the pentathlon, but he's a javelin thrower, so he did his first ever long jump and he was like over 2 meters there, and I was like, how did that go? And he was like, yeah, it was my first ever long jump, and I was like, good on you putting yourself out there. So so yeah, that's something that's yeah, that's something that's quite good. So the other thing is, shoes wise, I'm allowed to run in basically whatever I want as long as they're not big chunky shoes, which I've not got. These guys here, I've had to dig them out of the armoury. The right side doesn't really work, but I've got a good firm sole that gives me a platform to jump off of. So essentially just for the long jump, I really needed that. I didn't want to be collapsing into the jump with too much cushion. You want something really sturdy to really attack the ground. So long jumps down, that was 5 meters and 19, so almost an equal season best, almost an equal personal best. I didn't really put it together the way I wanted to. I think it was just quite difficult to adjust. I didn't spend a lot of time adjusting the run up, so that's got me over 400 points. So obviously I'm aiming for 2,000 points. I need to score over 400 in the ones I'm good at, which would be the 200 and the long jump, enough to compensate for the ones I'm bad at, which is the javelin and discus, and then hope that I just get a 5 minutes 30 for the 1500, which was my previous mark, to get like a par 400. So I think I'm going to drop, yeah, I think I'm likely to drop points in this javelin here just now, just try to, it's just damage limitation to see how little points I can drop. So yeah, I've only ever thrown javelin, not only ever, but I've mostly been throwing javelin in trainers anyway, and I've really, my technique's come on a lot. I'm only going to get 3 throws, so every single throw's got to count. There's not much room for error, and yeah, hopefully we're going to still be in the mix. So I'll update again after the javelin throw. My goal here is that there's 9 guys in the field. I wanted to get in the top 8, because that is equivalent to being like a finalist in if it was an indefinite event and I got in the top 8, that'd be equivalent to getting to the final. I wanted to get to a regional final by the end of the year. That was a kind of a secondary goal. So this is a regional event, and the whole event is a final, and there's 9 guys. I'm trying to just beat one of them, which I think I'm going to beat. So, but yeah, I'm going to see how far up the field I can get. I just don't know. Some of the guys I've competed against before, I know they're good. They're maybe not quite as fast as me, but they're just much superior across all the other events. And yeah, more kind of like throwers turned multi-eventers than sprinters turned multi-eventers, but I'm not going to be massively fast either. And then there's at least one guy here that I think I've seen once before, but he just jumped like a 6 meter 20 long jump there with a short run up. So yeah, clearly got some expertise behind them. So that's the status. I mean, if I can get 2,000 points in trainers, that'll be good. If I can rank in the top 8 on trainers, that'll be good. I'll feel good about that. Yeah, so this is where I really miss these new shoes. But then again, the new shoes might have been a bit too much all in one go, so catch up. So outdoor pentathlon update. Sun's shining here, I'll try and block it out. Yeah, it's great to be back competing again, especially at a stage like this, doing a lot of events. I should be PBing a lot, so I should really be experiencing guy doing 800 metres here, clearly from Stevenage, I think. So yeah, how's it going? So the long jump I've already updated on. The next was the javelin, and yeah, we threw a PB of, it was 25 metres and something. So that was good. I'd be disappointed to be thrown under 25 metres. Ideally, I would have liked to have gone a bit further as well, but yeah, just I was getting into my stride and threw a foul in the first, which I've never done before. Threw over 25 in the second, and I was really going for it in the third and actually slipped, slipped over the line. So there's definitely more to come there. So that's really positive. A bit of a shame I couldn't capitalise on the points. 200 metres. I mean, this was the bit of the 200 metre track now. It's a bit drier, but really bad start. Just kind of stood up out the blocks and had to try and get back into that acceleration position. Yeah, 26 seconds, like the slowest I've ever on 200 metres. I think even with the shoes in the picture, it was pretty slow. So yeah, obviously over 400 points for that, but not much over, not enough to be compensating as much as I'd hope. And then discus, yeah, really good. So there's a real temptation in a situation like this to say, right, let's just consolidate what we've got, let's do a standing throw, let's make sure we get a throw above 20 metres, and we're unsure of the territory. But I did a few kind of practice throws, and I did quite a few practice throws actually with the full turn. I just went straight for the full turn and mucked up a couple of times, but then managed to self-correct enough to actually do all three throws full turn through 24 over 24 metres, so new personal best in the discus as well. I told myself if you can put this together and execute, each of these can be a PB, like sequential PBs. But I didn't manage to get the release on the second one very well, and the third one was almost as far but not quite. So that was really positive. I need to still go and tally up the points, but I think the 2,000 points is just a bit too far off at the moment. 50-minute warning. I think that's not quite for us yet. I've still got half an hour before this 1,500 metres. So huge unknown, the 1,500 metres. Huge unknown. I mean, I've run it once before when I was very depleted and ran 5 minutes 30. I just don't know where the cardiovascular system is here. I wasn't very good on Thursday at the track when I was doing sprints, but I didn't really get into my swing, like get my aerobic engine up, so I really don't know. Again, trainers wise, last time I ran it in sprint spikes with like zero sole, so I don't know if this is just going to be slower or faster. I'm going to really try and get an even race. Really difficult to calculate. That's really difficult to gauge it going out. Really difficult to even know who to try and go with. But we're going to give it Matthew Flynn. Yeah, 24.53 for the discus. So that's a metre PB in the discus. So yeah, that's kind of what we're expecting, what we're hoping for. So another update at the end, and we'll see where things are at. But yeah, I think it's really important as well just to identify that you need the edge, you need the competitive edge, and this has been really helpful in preparation for Madiera. Really, really helpful to get me in the zone. I think it's difficult to get into the zone, you know, to snap into it. And in October, having previously competed in July. So let's get after it. Well, what can I say? I am the Eastern Athletics Association of the Eastern Counties bronze medalist. We managed to hold on for the 1,500 metres. I ran like 5:47, so like 12 or 17 seconds down on my previous score at the Eastern Championships. And yeah, just as I was not predicting, but as I was identifying, there was a possibility of I thought I was going to be in like 5th or 6th place. Turned out I actually bet the person that was in 4th. He'd been ahead of me the whole way through until the discus, and then he just didn't throw very well the discus. A guy called Darren, absolute gent, and he'd already calculated that I'd just narrowly bet him at the end. So that got me into 4th, and then yeah, the guy that was in 3rd was the guy that was in 3rd was actually down from Manchester, so he wasn't part of the Eastern Counties. Then again, there was 2 under 20 athletes that scored higher than me, but they are in a different category, and actually they're throwing a different implement, I think, on the discus. So yeah, I said I really needed a win. I needed a boost, and this medal has definitely given me that. Again, from waking up this morning, feeling like there was almost no point in going if I was wanting to get something like this out of it. That just shows how important it is to stick in there, and my total of 1,847 points was actually not bad considering. I'm right here in the car now, and yeah, so that's not commensurate with a 4,000 point margin, but I did the whole thing in trainers, and I still managed to get a couple of PBs in the throws, and yeah, it bodes really well for Madiera. So real boost, real lift, great camaraderie with the guys. Yeah, really quite uplifting. It was funny, right before the actual race, the 1500, I was doing my meditation, like my Headspace meditation on concentration, and yeah, they were basically calling for us, and like, what is this guy? I mean, they weren't ready to start racing, but they wanted to be kind of gathering everybody, and I had to like cut my meditation short because I was meditating right next to the thing. But I think that really helped. I felt maybe I had a bit more in the 1500. I didn't maybe run an even race, so there's a bit more to come there. And yeah, good day. I really think the concentration aspect is massive. There was some stuff going on in the background today, relationally, that I'm not really it's not really close to me, but yeah, it's just some stuff going on in the background that I was responding to on the text, and I think that really affected things. In the future, I'm going to not engage with that until later. So that was another wee lesson there. But yeah, lots of positives to take away. I definitely want to come back here next year and get over 2,000 points, and I was going to say come back and medal, but I've already done that. So yeah, come back and be more of a challenger for the actual overall rankings there. So yeah, peace out, Madiera. We're still coming.